Hello, you are listening to English edition of Konopný Podcast dedicated to cannabis growing and another interesting information about cannabis. My name is Josef Krejčík and I'm publishing books and articles on this topic for more than 12 years. I'm wishing you a pleasant listening. Hello, welcome to another episode of Cannabis Podcast. I'm at the moment in Düsseldorf at Cannafair. I don't know which year it takes place here in Düsseldorf, but I can tell you that the first edition was very abundant. Not too many people have been there, and this year it's completely different. It's visible that Germany is rising and everybody wants to be here. I think Plagron was there also for the first edition.
Yeah, 100%, yes.
With a pool, with the balls.
That could be, I don't remember because we have a more booth in the past. Yeah, so that could be. It's not young, I think it's 4 years now, Cannafair.
I think it was in 2018 or 19. Yeah. 19 probably was the first edition, but I'm not sure. But it doesn't matter. The reason why we are here at the moment is that I would like to introduce you Jorg from Plagron. Jorg is a specialist when I need to know something about plants, something about nutrients and so on. I usually write him through WhatsApp, am I right?
Yeah.
Sending him pictures because his opinion is always important for me. And so I would like to make an interview with him. Jorg, can you introduce yourself because you will do it much better than I?
Hopefully. Thank you for this invitation for this podcast. My name is Jorg. I'm working now 7 years for Plagron.
Mm-hmm.
So I was started as an underground grower. I went to our R&D to help them more to get in the mind of the grower, to show how the grower thinks. And to make the products more adaptable for growers, and especially for the growers, like the cannabis growers. And so over time, we get in Europe more large-scale growers, especially was at the time Switzerland. And so that time I was switching also more my focus on not only the hobby, the small growers, but also the larger growers. And so also as Plagron, we get a switch. Hey, there are also bigger growers, and the focus went also a little bit to that industry. And so now my job is more as a cultivation specialist. So it's not only we advising to how to use our substrate, our fertilizer, but also all the cultivation parameters around it. That everyone wants a specialized, or a special tailor-made schedule. How much I have to grow for my plants, because every grower has his own ideas, our own way, and to make that our product suitable also for in this cultivation, not only to sell here. Here's a substrate, the fertilizer, but make it adaptable in that area and in their grow room. So they are focusing now. You see now in Germany it's more open. Also in other countries, Portugal, North Macedonia, and also Czech Republic, it's more companies are open. So that's more my role now these days. So also the hobby growers, also in the fair trades. Also give the technical. I help with the service desk when there are really hard technical questions. I'm in to help. And of course, when you send a question, I always love to help. And so that's my role at Plagron.
It's good that you have an insight also as a home grower, as a small grower, and also experience with large-scale growers. Of course, for every company, it's better to sell, sometimes to sell more advanced to larger growers, but small growers are like something from where everything started.
Yes.
And I think what I remember, I don't remember too much things, but I remember Plagron even from my starts of home growing, and so it's it's an old company already. Do you have something about history of Plagron?
Yes, of course. Yeah, the company is, I think, existing now for more than 30 years.
Okay.
So from the past, it was
a little bit older than I am.
Yeah, in the past, it was the owner was cultivating worms for fishing, and there you see the side product was the worm castings.
Okay.
So there was more interest from the industry, the underground industry, in that product. So here some shops in the time were asking, hey, and they called it on that also black gold. So it was mixing in the substrate, and they were selling the substrate. We went to all the grow shops and selling, and then we said, hey, that's interesting, and this nice industry. Let's look further. So we make then the first liquid fertilizer. Was in that time the alga fertilizer, the alga grown alga bloom, and so on and so on. And at that time now we have more than 67 products. So yes, the worm casting, that was really the start of Plagron, and substrate is always one of the key points, because that's also the name, because not a lot of people knows where Plagron, where's the name coming from. Yeah, it's really easy. It stands for plant, and grond stands for it's ground, or in Dutch we say grond. So plant ground or plant substrate.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So there's a little bit really short the history of. At the time, we see that in first it was really focusing on the underground growers. Then you have more hobby growers, and now we see that in the last year we also have more interest in this in medical, industrial growing. We also see we have a new department which focus specialized in only industrial growing, a large scale growing for 10,000 square meters, special products, liquids, powder form nutrients, and different types of substrates that are suitable in these large scale growing.
Cool. So from a small company to it's a little bit bigger company.
Yes. So we started with, when I heard the stories, they were with 5 people around the office doing the marketing, the sales, and also the production. Now we go over maybe 90 to 100 people. A lot in the Netherlands, and also a lot account managers, sales managers in the countries. Because we sell almost all over the world. So with people in the US, people in South America, and so on. So
So it's cannabis market is interesting. Are you also selling to non-cannabis?
Yes. We're also selling. So we had some citrus farms in Dubai.
Okay.
We had in the past, we sell a lot organic mineral fertilizer to Canada, to big pepper bell growers, cucumber growers. That region, yes. So we sell. It's not a big. We have also, because Plagron is a brand, and the main company is called Bertels, and we have then also in part is Pure. So Pure, we're focusing on golf courses, like a big one in Czech Republic. I don't know, the English name is Cahill. So there's a big one. So I've been there once. We had some issues. So so then we sell also a lot of Pure from in Czech Republic. Like when you have home in grass, a lawn. So we're focusing on a broad scale.
I didn't know that. But what I know for sure is that Plagron is doing of course, substrates, which is very interesting. I think lots of people know, especially in Czech Republic. I think Plagron is very known for substrates, and it was one of the first companies who was on the Czech market when the cannabis grow shops and everything around it started. So I know that you don't have only one fertilizer, you have different lines. What is interesting is that lots of companies are doing cocoa lines. Because in one time cocoa started to be very popular. To be honest, I don't like cocoa too much, but lots of people do, and they have good results. I say everyone, if you find a way which works for you, do it. Try something else as well. But if something worse don't work, why to change it?
So,
I agree. Tell me, what's the difference between like Coco line comparing, let's say, to Terra line?
Yeah, really good question, because this is a question we get more often. So what you see is with when we talk about a substrate or a medium, is this always combined with a basic nutrients, a basic fertilizer. So what we see with the Terra line or the peat moss line, because the substrate are peat moss based, is that the calcium is already inside the substrate. And that's why we have one bottle per stage or per phase in one bottle.
Like say Terra Grow, for example.
Yeah, and a Terra Bloom.
Yeah.
And with the cocoa, we have a combined basic nutrients, and we call it an A and B. The thing is that because we have to separate these, because calcium is really reactive with the other nutrients, and then that's why we need to separate.
Okay.
And this cocoa A and B is more full spectrum. There are almost all the elements in, that make it also different than the Terra or the cocoa. The Terra the Terra is also a little bit more easier. You have to use less bottles to do your cultivation, also less concentrated. These are both like mineral-based nutrients or elements inside the bottles. But the main difference also, because the peat moss substrate is totally different than a cocoa substrate, there is a big difference. And it has to do also with our cocoa premium is really plain. There is nothing in it. If you look to the EC values, how strong the total volume of minerals or connectivity is around 0.07.
Cocoa.
There's nothing in it. And that's why we put also more calcium in this A and B, because this cocoa need to be saturated with calcium to get calcium available for the plants. That's why it's also a little bit different than the Hydro line.
Yeah, okay. So that was my another question, but I will let you finish the cocoa story.
Because when the soil will grab this calcium, it's a kind of stored that's harder for the plant to take up. And when the cocoa is fully saturated calcium, and you add new calcium, that calcium is more freely available. That's why we put also more, as I said earlier, more in the A and B. With the Terra, is that there is a calcium powder in it, and combined also with normally with your tap water, there is some calcium. Normally it should be enough, but we see the cultivation improvement are growing really fast. You see now with the LEDs, you say maybe we have to look, hey, you have to add some extra calcium, in the form of calcium, in a bottle of calcium magnesium product, CalMag product, to get the standard and higher calcium uptake. So there's also involvement what we see now more. So we see also more in the advice what we gave. With the new strains, with the new light, and people are more high-tech growers. You see that now. So they ask more for the plants, more performance. So we need more nutrients.
But not only calcium, we need also.
Yes.
But this is something interesting. Let me tell. Like I see also like trials where they use like less water and more concentrated nutrient solution, because under LEDs temperatures are not as high as it was when using HID lamps like HPS or MH lamps. So transpiration is sometimes a little bit slower here. And to get the same amount of nutrients or more a higher amount of nutrients, because if you have lots of light, if you want to use it, you need also to combine it with optimum environment and also optimum nutrient level. So what do you think? Do you also suggest to hire or let's make it a little bit easier. What is your suggestion when using LEDs and feeding the plants? What is like a basic suggestion you can give to growers?
Yeah, good question, really good question, because a lot of growers struggle with this question, because in the past they were afraid to use high EC fertilizer. In the past it had to do with the inputs, what all companies put in is a different type of nitrogen, and that was causing really that burning tips. That had to do with the transition of urea to nitrates, of the buildup of ammonium. This ammonium was the issue, a high amount of ammonium. These days we don't use this high amount of ammonium, we don't use them anymore. Maybe 10, maybe 50% compared to nitrogen. So the big difference what we see with the LEDs and the HPS is that the spectrum where the plants are photosynthetic active is wider. These LEDs are asking more from the plant. There's more photosynthesis involved in this. To assist this photosynthesis, the plants need, of course, the sugars, the ATP was coming from this photosynthesis, but they need also the essence of the nutrients. And there you see, there is sometimes a big disbalance in between. There's a lot of sugar was produced, but there's not enough assistance of nutrients, or CO2 was in. Because CO2, a lot of growers think, hey, there's just something additional. But this carbon inside the CO2 is the first energy what plants need. Because photosynthesis is CO2 plus water with light reaction, creates oxygen and these sugars in the form of ATP. So, but now the LED industry was really going fast, as growers are now buying LEDs full on. And the rest of the cultivation parameters was not going up. So because in this way of thinking and the thinking from the past, not a lot of EC makes that people, growers are sometimes afraid to increase the EC. So because of the buildup of minerals, they get a lockout, so that's a really good question. So what should be a good advice? So it's always to try to think in balance. So if you, for example, you use green sensation where there's a lot of P and K, if you add that, it's also wise to increase your calcium with a little bit of CalMag, because all the positive nutrients, positive charged nutrients like potassium, like ammonium, like we have magnesium. There are, if you add something too much, it will decrease the uptake on someone. It needs to be in balance. So that's why it's best, if you want to increase your EC, don't increase it with one element or two elements, but do a wide, broad spectrum increase. So increase your basic nutrients. So keep your additives like acquisition the same, 1 milliliter per liter, but increase, if you want a higher EC, increase everything higher.
It makes sense, and honestly, I do it like from the beginning with all fertilizers. If I want to add something, of course, sometimes I did do it only with PK, because in some time of development it makes sense. But okay, so let's say we have LEDs, we have like more photosynthetic active radiation from that. So of course, if the plants have energy, they are able to use to make more energy for themselves. They need also more nutrients. But the truth is also that we don't rise the same temperature of leaves comparing to infrared spectrum from old HID lamps.
That's right.
So how to face this? Because okay, if we is it enough only to rise EC, because we will, let's say, balance the higher amount of photosynthetic active radiation and also slower evaporating
Yeah, and by the way, you can add, so for example, the element was really also involved with LEDs. So we talk about calcium. Yeah, calcium, the highest uptake of calcium is by the xylem. There's one vessel that goes from the roots to the top, and that goes by the transpiration stream. And
that was this word I can remember.
Transpiration, okay. Cool. And if you have less transpiration, then you can say there's a relation between less uptake of calcium. So if you can increase the transpiration, then you get more calcium in it. So how can you increase your transpiration? That is just increasing the heat, but also get more air moving around the leaves.
Yes.
Because we call this, you call this the wet towel evaporation. So if you have an air blowing on the leaves, also that gives some small evaporation and concludes in transpiration. Maybe also a little bit in the night is possible. So you can get a little bit of transpiration at night. Of course, a lot of growers will say, "Oh wait, but the stomata is closed, but not fully all the time." So you can do that also a little bit in the night. So yeah, give enough air movement. That's really beneficial. Not only for that, but also to control the humidity and the microclimate inside the buds. It's really important. So this, LEDs, you increase your fans speed or wind speed, but also get more root pressure from the higher EC. That can be in the form of calcium. Because that's really.
So if we can put it in a nutshell, if you grow with high intensity LEDs, it is also important to say, because we talk about high intensity. We need more feed for our plants, and we also need to push evaporation a little bit. And what I'm also advise to growers with old lamps, with heat lamps, we were pointing ventilators between lamps and canopy. And what I suggest to people, if they don't reach the proper temperature of leaf, to put a fan above the lights and blow air down to the plants, because then you can get the heat from upside
that's a good idea.
To canopy. What is also, in my opinion, and what I also try, is also make a big sense.
Wise choice.
So one more thing I wanted to ask: the difference between coco line and hydro line, because to be honest, when I have some experience with your fertilizers. I use it for your organic line a lot, and I'm using also your hydroponic line because for me it's great if there is some problem, if they don't have enough feed from organic. The hydro is great help, which works instantly. So what is the difference between coco and hydro? Because both are hydro A, hydro B, coco A, coco B. So
the difference is not that big as you compare with mineral fertilizer, organic fertilizer. What the difference, what you see is in the past we use a different type of micronutrients in the coco A and B. Now we put in the same because we learned that from the hydro and A and B fertilizer. So there we use now in all line chelated micronutrients. They are easier uptakeable for the plants because they will not oxidize that easy in the water.
Okay.
So that's the same. What we see the difference that in the cocoa there's a little bit more nitrogen and more calcium in it, and we make it less concentrated.
Okay.
With the hydro it's more concentrated. The rest, the source of nitrogen, phosphorus, is almost the same. So there's not.
So if I make it easier, if I use hydro for growing in cocoa, it's not a big deal.
No. You can use that. Yes, that's no issue. 100%.
There is. I have like I can see also other stuff. So sugar oil. Why to use it?
Good question. So sugar oil, it consists two components. One big component You can read a lot in the lectures about amino acids. You find hundred or thousands papers what the benefits are from amino acids, what it do with abiotic and biotic stress. Stress from inside or from outside. Inside we normally see like insects, viruses, they damage the tissue. The plants need to recover from that, they go in maintenance state. Amino acids, humic acids, salicylic acids are these type of elements or ingredients that help. The other ingredient is to shorten a little bit the cycle. So, and especially in the transition phase. When the plants go in transition, we see that the plants go faster in from growing to flowering. So, and this has something to do, it goes maybe too really deep, but it has to do something in the mitochondria in the plant. That's kind of factory where the plant is in the photosynthesis creating the ATP that goes in the night into the mitochondria. There is making the energy. It's a light independent cycle. And there we're blocking there a kind of amino acid in it. That's why the plants go faster into the flower.
Why is not sugary in a basic line? Why is green sensation is not in a basic line? Because honestly, when I see all the companies and all the fertilizers, I'm asking sometimes, green sensation is phosphorus and kalium. No? Potassium. Sorry. So
it is in the line.
I say, okay, they want more money from growers only, but does it have? Of course, I understand. I'm also trying to sell some stuff, So I understand marketing stuff. You want to sell something extra. I understand it. And But is there? I think there is also another reason why to add peak a different way.
100%. Yeah. Good question. Always good questions. Now, if you remove like green sensation out of the schedule, and we go and we look deeper into the how like in our Coco A and B is being used, and you look to the elements, and when we consider this recipe as a more vegetative or growing recipe, that means the nitrogen and the potassium level are the same. And we have a little bit of phosphorus that we give with this recipe the plants from, hey, you're allowed to always make the green parts, especially with the nitrogen. But with adding like a green sensation on Pecan 3014, there we create a different ratio between the nitrogen and the potassium. It's not 1-on-1 anymore, but now we have 1 part of nitrogen and 2 part of potassium. This gives the plants more signal, go more and do more on flowering. That's also what we want in the flowering stage. That goes all the energy. It's coming from out of the mitochondria goes into the buds, and not anymore to creating leaves. That must be done in the vegetative stage. Not anymore in the flowering stage. So that's why we added also in the flowering stage.
Because what is difference between, say, Plagron and some other brands? Like you are using the 2 bottles all the cycle, so you are not changing the ratios. Some fertilizers are very similar. Doesn't matter if you grow potatoes or tomatoes or cannabis. You have 2 parts, 3 parts, or 1 part. It's like that. But for example, if you go with Terra, you have 1 part for grow stage and 1 part for flowering stage. So of course, if you have 2 parts and you want to add something extra, you need to use, let's say, green sensation, for example. What I think is very popular product of yours.
100%.
I heard I got also bottle from of power buds. Can you tell me something about that? Because how to use it and what is benefits of that? And also the second part of this question, how to avoid if you use some extra parts to avoid some reaction with something else in your nutrient solution.
Yeah.
Because time to time with new stuff, I'm facing these troubles that you mix it and now it's white, you know.
Yeah,
So,
like
so
silicates.
Yeah,
100%.
With
Yes.
silicas, it's very often. So sometimes you have to, if you use some fertilizers, you have to think which part you use as the first one.
Yeah.
You know, what to not mix after each other. You know, so you have to also find a way how to use it, not only how to mix it and how to use it. So do you have some special advices for power buds?
Yeah, especially So with power buds is we make this product. It's a part of Sugar Royale. What we found out is that with hydroponic growing and on water culture, we see that when you use organic products with organic substance, we see that the water spoils very easy and very fast. That could cause a lot of problems. So we get a lot of good reaction about, hey, Sugar Royale, but I can use it. We cannot use it in our hydro system. So that's why we created power buds. So also power buds doesn't contain the amino acids anymore, because these spoil the water very fast. But the active ingredient to shorten the cycle, especially in the transition phase. When you go from 12-12, that period can sometimes very short, in 7 days, but sometimes can be 20 days, depending on the strain. And so we can short that. And how is it? The natural hormones what the plant produce, the switch goes faster with power buds. It's that we see much faster, more bud size and faster buds.
Okay.
And then these buds becoming larger in the process because there goes the energy normally into. So that is the power buds. The question what you have also with combining products, also at that point, if you use a product and you want to combine something, you can always send us a message, ask, is it suitable? Can we use that? And then we can look, okay, yes, the product what you want to use is a silica product. Keep in mind, use it as first.
Yes.
Try. This must be.
It's good advice to use silica products as the first thing.
And stir well. Stir well and
wait for a while before it dilute in water.
Because that can combine, and then it makes the silica not available, and the other nutrients will not be available. Like potassium, it can't bound with potassium. Then you get potassium silicates, and then it will become sediment, and it will not be available. So that's really important to do. One by one. Give the water time to dissolve.
Okay, Jorg, we already discussed that home growing developed a lot during the last 10 years, or it's home growers are more and more educated, what is good. You can see that the people who grow for longer time at home, they are trying to improve their home growing. The VPD is something what people started to looking at, even if in my opinion they are more look at it than they can steer it, because it's really hard challenge to steer vapor pressure deficit. So very important is to measure the temperature of leaves. Without it, you are missing crucial information for it. What do you what is at the moment, like from your point of view, like the biggest challenge for let's start with large scale growers, because quite often the home growers get something from large growers and opposite way as well. But where do you see are the biggest challenges? It is like saving water or improving light usage, or what is the biggest challenge in large scale growing?
The biggest challenge is always IPM, integrated pest management. That's always the hardest, to get everything clean, and because it's a large scale. So the pest can really outgrown and infect all your plants. So that's really hard, the IPM, that you get a good protocol, etc. On that. The other thing is to get a standardizing everything. that you get your harmonizing your cultivation parameters, like to get your light levels ever the same, that you don't get higher plants, smaller plants, you get in the shade. These are to get your irrigation running, because if you have if you started maybe at 10 square meters and you have your experience, and now you go to 50,000 square meters, and then there are a lot of drippers, that's hard. Also the hard most of the time is a transition. When you're experienced with organics growing, and now you want to get these organics into large scale growing, can be a quite challenged. You have to do a lot, and that is most of the time you see that the biggest challenge. People want what they did in the basement, want to do it in large scale. So that's a really hard challenge to do, because with all the maintenance, etc.
If you mentioned organic, today I read an interesting article about US and organic cannabis. If you want to sell something in US, and similar is in Europe, if you want to sell it as organic, you have to have some certification for that. And American State Certification Agency is not open to certificate cannabis as organic. Doesn't matter how you grow it. So in the end, it's not possible to sell organic wheat as organic and get extra price on it, for example. So it will be also issue maybe here in Germany, when they made a big step in legalization, and we hope that it will go to other countries as well, because you can see it, like how crowded the trade show is, and how great atmosphere is there. When we have been here and see, it was empty a couple of years ago, so it's a big difference. And you see like nice people, normal people, it's I believe that it is something which this is the important step, how the people around cannabis will not like junks for others. I believe it will be like that, because I see like drunk people are laying in the street and it's okay, and somebody who smoke weed is like, oh my God.
Yes, there's always the issue.
yeah, definitely. Okay, so we mentioned large-scale growers. I have to say that, for example, like powder mildew, what was something what I didn't see for many years, is nowadays almost everywhere, and everybody is trying to get rid of it. And even it's relatively easy to control with organic agents, it is an issue, because once it gets in your facility, it's not something easy to get rid of. Even with UVC and everything, it's very hard to get rid of. So, as you said, it's an issue. How you see the future of home growing? We see a lot of automatic stuff, like automatic fridge. I don't believe this stuff, because what I see from my practice, you have to take care of plants, and nobody else will do that, But how you see the future of home growing? Do you think it has future at all? Because if there will be a chance to buy a cheap weed in pharmacy or some shop, in shop it will be not cheap. We see it in America. It's everything but not cheap. What is your opinion on how you see the future of home growing?
I think the homegrown will go a little bit down, because the cannabis is more openly available on a good quality. But I think still there will be a craft group. They want to play, to make their own crosses, and to be in control on what to consume. We see that also in the beer industry. They relate the same. The group will become smaller, but they will always exist. So I think that, and but how it goes, how the governments also, maybe now what you see in Thailand, maybe now it was open, maybe now they're gonna ban everything. So there is a lot of rumors, so you don't know how the things involved. But I think yes, the commercial available cannabis will be larger. So then instead the home grower will be becoming smaller. That's my idea.
Yeah.
That's my idea.
More or less I agree. I think that like with LEDs, also it's much safer. You know, if you had a bulb which has 500 degrees in your house, it was like
I burned my hands quite a lot.
So it was like not something very easy. But now with LEDs, it also looks better. You know.
Yep. Yeah.
So you can have a relatively clean setup. You can buy everything now. You don't have to put everything.
You can buy everything online these days.
I believe that home growing will be something stable. Maybe it will go.
Yeah.
I don't think it will go down because more people will start to grow because they was afraid to do it.
Yeah.
And you know, the best tomatoes I buy during the year is the one I grow in my garden.
100%.
But also for home growers, controlling of pest and disease is also an issue, and I think the home growers should also think about it and think about the quality of product to have it free of pests and diseases.
What you see also this time with also social media, people now are expressing their grow room. They want to tell their story. They want to help and say, I did this, I did a problem, I have this. In the past, it was not available. There was on social media, nobody was talking about openly about how was growing. Now people are more growing. So now you see the learning curve is much higher. Also in the peer group of home growers.
Yes.
Because sometimes there's a big gap between when you look at social media about the large scale growers, and the home growers will pick their things to learn. But
information are easier available, but on the other hand, there is lots of bad informations also. So sometimes some information pop up which is not based on nothing then someone think that it is like that, and lots of people take it as a true. But
and that is nice of the home growing hobby. Try it.
Definitely.
And look, work it for you or not. And nice, a small scientific, grows inside the home. That's nice.
Right. Okay, Jorg, thank you very much for a nice interview. I hope you enjoyed it. And my last question to everyone: what is your message to growers, to every growers? Do you have something? What do you want to say?
I think it's that just always have fun with growing. You read a lot, and also now you people have opinion about your grow, but it's really important that you like your stuff and have fun and also is to trigger yourself, and it's not to try to become the best grower, but always have the motivation to grow, and I think then you will keep going in this hobby for a long time.
It's a nice one. Enjoy your growing because it's very funny hobby. I really like it. My favorite part is when the plant goes up from seed. It's like, when they are small and start to grow. I really like it. Then when it start to flower, I'm afraid that it will get some disease or something like that. Then I'm more afraid, and I'm waiting how heavy it will be. Anyway, thank you for listening to us. If you would like to try some quality fertilizers, try Plagron. I did it already and it works great. And I'm looking forward to see you in another episode of Cannabis Podcast. Visit my website www.mysteryose.eu, or you will find me on Facebook and blah 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 everywhere else. Thank you, Jorg.
Thank you.
Have a nice trade show and see you soon. Bye
bye.
Ciao.
Cool. Yes.